This is an instructional video made for the AdBeans web researcher role and should be used for reference purposes when approaching websites. The first step would be to download the Google Chrome browser. Once downloaded and installed, you'd need to find the relevant tools in order to identify quality websites. So the first tool we'll be using is called SEO Site Tools. So if you Google it, it will actually appear as your first listing. So please install this tool on your browser. Once installed, it shows you a little button in the top right hand side. So now the first step would be to identify a website's PageRank. So PageRank is displayed next to the magnifying glass. Once the button is clicked, it actually opens on-page information and the PageRank can be viewed here. And this particular site is currently a PageRank 5. The higher the PageRank, the more likely the site has quality relevant content. However, there are many other factors that need to be considered, and as many sites are able to actually manipulate their PageRank. So the next step would be to check the domain age. This can be done very simply by clicking on the magnifying glass and then on the server domain info tab. Normally the date should be shown with other information here. If it isn't by any chance, you can also click on the Who is Information button link here, and this will then give you all the domain registration details, including the date created and the date expired. So the next step would be to check the number of index pages by Google. The more pages a site has indexed, the more we can actually use for advertising, therefore the more valuable to us. The quickest way to check the number of index pages would be to click on the magnifying glass, and then the total number of index pages will be listed here. You can also check you can check individually which pages have been indexed by clicking on the link. So this will bring up each an individual page out of the 1110 that has been indexed, and this is pretty useful as it gives you the manual command, which you can also type into Google to check. So the next stage would be to analyze the backlinks of a publisher website. This is probably one of the most important factors when looking at a prospective site, so understanding how backlinks work is absolutely key. The more backlinks a site has, the higher the frequency that it will get indexed by search engines, and the higher their ranking is likely to be in those search engines. So for a quick overview on the number of backlinks, click on the magnifying glass, and under domain links, this will give you the total number of links to that particular publisher site. So in this case it's just 31,633. You can also click on this number and it will give you all the individual results. This is very relevant as when you do look through these individual results, if a high percentage of the total number of links are coming from a small number of domains, this can actually be a signal of suspicious backlink behavior and should be looked at further. Also, when looking on Yahoo Site Explorer, make sure you have selected the In Links tab and also except from this domain to entire site, and this will give you a more accurate figure. So if you refer to point 5 on your training document, the next step would be to work out the domain diversity percentage. We'll be using a tool called Majestic SEO for this. So this tool will give us the total number of backlinks and also the total number of referring domains. Do make sure you take away the http:// as it can actually obscure the results. So if we remove those. So the easiest way to work out the domain diversity percentage would be to take the number of referring domains, which is 239, divide this by the number of external backlinks, and then times this by 100 to give us our percentage. In this case, it has a percentage of 10.27%, which is very good. Anything over 3% would actually qualify. However, the higher the percentage, the better the site is likely to be. This is also, you want to avoid many links coming from a very small number of referring domains, as mentioned previously. And if you do find a site has many links coming from a very small number of domains, it would be best advised to avoid sites like that. If you refer to step 6 in your training document, we have given you a few examples of publishers who create unique, high quality, relevant content. So do take time to familiarize yourselves with their sites and the type of content they publish. Next, I'll show you what to avoid and how to go about doing so. Firstly, we're going to take a look at unrelated content. Unrelated content is a strong signal that the site is of very low quality and does not care about their target audience and are basically publishing content in order to get paid, which is the type of site we definitely would like to avoid. This particular site was created as a travel blog. However, if you do take a look at the content in more detail, you can actually see they are publishing content around financial investments, which actually contain outbound links. Therefore, as the content is not related to travel, we wouldn't actually be using this site. So next, I'd like to show you how to check for duplicate content. Duplicate content is very important also, as search engines punish sites that scrape content from other sites. This is a good example of an auto blog in terms of its page template. And normally auto blogs will contain many paid links within all of their posts. Also, a high amount of content posted per day. The content is normally of very low quality with very few images, and also these type of sites have very low engagement with their users in terms of comments and also social bookmarks. The best way to actually check for duplicate content, if we go into any of their posts and we just copy a section of their post, make sure you always include quotation marks, which make sure it's actually an exact match for that particular sentence. So as you can see from these results, this particular post has been published many times previously, and for that reason we wouldn't be interested in using that particular site. So the next step would be to make an visual inspection of the publisher site in terms of the number of outbound links they have and also the number of outbound links they publish within their posts. It may not always be straightforward in terms of identifying the number of outbound links. Normally they would be located on the sidebar and the header and footer. As you can see, these are all outbound links going to different destination URLs. along with these also, and there are a few more here at the bottom. Most publishers do have outbound links on their pages, which aren't a problem as long as they are all relevant to the publisher themselves. For example, a travel related publisher should have all travel related links. We cannot use publishers that publish unrelated links, such as gaming sites or adult related content, so do bear that in mind. The next step would be to check the number of links within each post. This particular publisher has around 10 links per post. These links are all outbound and not internal. Therefore, we do consider this number excessive. Therefore, just bear in mind when you do check the content of the posts, if they do have excessive number of outbound links, they may actually be rejected. The next step is measuring social activity around a publisher website. As search engines are constantly looking of new ways to improve the quality of their search results, they seem to be increasingly moving towards using social sentiment and engagement as a ranking factor, therefore very relevant to us. So the first thing to do is establish if they are actually active on the different social media platforms. As you can see on this particular publisher's homepage, they have all their different social media channels here. The main ones we would be interested in using initially would be Twitter. So if they do have a Twitter account, do click through to it and just take a note of their username, which can be used later on. Also, we can use our SEO Site Tools plugin to measure social engagement. So just click on the magnifying glass, click on the social media tab, and then this will show the different activity across the different social media platforms. The more active they are and the more backlinks, social media backlinks they do have, the more valuable they will be to us.